What's up, Thumicus Nation, and welcome to the review of Nisekoi Episode 2. If you haven't watched my review on Episode 1, there will be a link down below of the playlist. Well, it's going to probably be maybe later on in the future, there's going to be a lot. Because I'm not separating each anime into a playlist. I'm just adding all the reviews together. But apparently, I did not know this, but Nisekoi has 2 seasons. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a total of 32 episodes. Because I think season 1 is like 20 episodes and season 2 is about 12. But we're going to get there eventually. But anyway, smash that like button if you want to see body pillow AFK fishing. Well, see, I was hinting at SD about it, and he was like, bet. And let's see. If we could get 10 likes on this video, I will do a Twitch stream of my body pillow AFK fishing on my Minecraft server. But anyway, without further ado, let's just jump right into this. So, the start of episode 2 is where we left off from episode 1, where Kirisaki's father and Raku's dad is trying to get them into a fake relationship for about 3 years. Yeah, for 3 years. Yes, it's 3 years. Why am I thinking about it being 3 months? Is there an anime that I watched that was like dealing with 3 months? But anyway, they want them to get in a fake relationship so they could stop each other's clans from getting into war. Well, right when they were mentioning that, well, the gangsters just break down the fucking wall of the Yakuza because they're in the Yakuza's place and talking about this like the fucking Kool-Aid man. We find out that the gangsters' actual organization name is the Beehives. And we also learn of a new character, Claude, who is the head member of the Beehives. And then we find out the boss's name, which is give me a second here. Because I cannot remember this guy's name. Andelt Kurosaki, which I'm gonna just call him Mr. Kurosaki. Then we see the Yakuzas come out, and then we see that Claude says the Yakuza's clan's name, which is Shuge, I want to say. Something like that. I'm just going off of my head. But I believe it's like, in Japanese, it means, well, in English, well, if you translate it to English, it means guardian, I believe. Anyway, the Yakuzas come up and they get into a whole war, and then both fathers are like, well, these two are in a relationship, and then they're like, oh, is that true? And then we see Raku and fucking Kurosaki like, no, that's fake news. And then they actually see that, oh shit, if they don't fake this relationship, there's actually gonna be war going on. So they decide to go along with their father and pretend to be in a relationship. But then after that, we see them together outside of the place, talking about how are we supposed to do this. But, well, how are we supposed to act like this? Basically, it's their first time being in a relationship, or being in a relationship. Or being in a relationship, my bad. Holy shit, I'm all over the place, but that's alright, we're rolling with it. And like, they see all that, and then But then after that, we see um, Raku looking down. He sees his locket and he goes, "Oh yeah, by the way, thanks for finding this for me." And then she's like, "No problem. So what is it? So what's the deal with this locket?" And he's basically says that the whole story behind the locket about how this girl gave it to him and promises that they would get married, and he's been staying with this promise. And as you can see, Kurosaki was going off on that for episode 1, but then she realizes that he actually she likes like love stories like that. But anyway, getting on to the next day, we see that or Raku in bed, and then they the Yakuza's call for him because there's somebody at the front door. Basically, it's Kurosaki, and she's like, "I'm sorry for the short notice, darling, but I would like to go on a date." So they go on this date, but the Yakuza's and the gangsters are stalking them, I guess, to make sure that they are really in a relationship. Um, and they don't really know what to do on a date, but so Raku goes with his fantasies of him going on a date with Kosaki. Well, he thought everything would have been great, but Kurosaki hated about everything that they did. They went drink tea somewhere. She hated the tea. She was like, "Ugh, this it's nasty." They went eat. She was eating. I think she was like eating, basically saying seconds. I want seconds. I want seconds. Third was going to the movies, which Raku wanted the what you call it, a romance movie, while freaking Kurosaki wanted a freaking deadly action movie. But they ended up going watching a romance movie that I don't think none of them pick. But you see Kurosaki falling asleep, and then after that, they get into this scene where there's a bunch of game like she tells Raku to go get her some tea. Yeah, some tea, it's and then some guys walked up to her and says, "Oh," basically hitting on her, and then she's like, "Oh, what's wrong?" Yada yada yada, and she has none. She doesn't want to do none with them, so she ticks them. Well, they tick her off. Well, she was about to swing. Raku comes up and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, Kurosaki. And also I'm sorry, guys. She's new to this area. She doesn't understand Japanese, but we'll be on our way." And then they end up in the park. Yeah, they go to the park, and then she's like, "Okay, I didn't need you to step up, stand. Well, be my hero. I could have handled that by myself." And he's like, "You didn't need to stoop up to their level." Basically type shit. Romance. You know how romance fucking is. But anyway, she tells Raku that she's going to the bathroom. And then as Raku is talking to himself, Kosaki comes out of nowhere, and Raku starts having this little panic. How oh, not panic attack. Basically, like whenever your crush is nearby, gets near you, and you just get all nervous, and you just like start shaking and talking nonsense. Well, while they're talking there, which I am not gonna go over what they were talking about, because like all I'm worried about for them is the locket and the key, and if there's nothing about the locket and key, well then I'm gonna just throw that shit in the trash. But anyway, yeah, after Kurosaki leaves the bathroom, she overhears the gangsters talking about, uh, they don't seem to be they don't seem to be more like in a relationship. They seem to be like bickering at each other more than in love, which that makes Kurosaki snap into girlfriend mode or try to act more like a girlfriend, kind of like how the Rent a Girlfriend shy girl goes into girlfriend mode for I forgot his name, but the guy, basically the main character from Rent a Girlfriend, I cannot remember his name. So she goes into girlfriend mode, but she doesn't realize Kosaki is there talking to Raku, and then she's like, "Oh shit!" And then they're like, "No, no, 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 we're not dating." And then Raku gets that, I don't know what it's called. We're gonna call it like spider senses. Basically, like spider senses that Claude is watching them, and making sure that they're actually in a true relationship. So Kurosaki is like, you know what, fuck it, yes, we're in a relationship, yes, isn't that right, darling? And then you just see um, Raku just sputting out random shit, and then Kurosaki would tell, uh, yeah, Kurosaki would tell Kosaki the dates that they were on, but then you just see Raku just after she would say something, he would just give an excuse, kind of like for the movies. He was like, "Yeah, I just happened to have those two tickets on me, so yeah." And then after that, we see Kurosaki just walking around angry, very angry. I can't even get the fucking words out of my mouth. We just see her just storming out, which leaves Raku and Kosaki. And then, like, Kosaki is just like, you don't have to be embarrassed about your love and all that. Um, yeah, you don't have to be embarrassed in front about your, I want to say, she was trying to say, like, love life for, embarrass of his love for Kurosaki, but we know that's not true. They're just in a fake relationship. So before Kosaki could leave, Raku asks it, "Hey, can I ask you one question?" And then she's like, "Yeah, sure." And then Raku whips out the locket and says, "Tell me, have you ever seen this locket?" um, like when you're a child, and we see Kosaki saying no, but we all know she's lying because she was like, because I think she was saying to herself, "Hey, oh, it's something like, oh, it's that locket." But anyway, we see Kosaki leave, and then we see Raku catch up with Kurosaki, and Kurosaki apologizes to. I mean, no, Raku apologizes to Kurosaki for the way he acted. But before we see that, we see Claude saying that there's something suspicious going on, which means he's catching on to the fake relationship. And then after the whole scene with Kurosaki and Raku, we see Kosaki at home saying that she didn't manage the courage to admit that um, uh, I admit, well, fuck, I fucking hate when like your brain is all over the fucking place. But anyway, she just talks to herself, basically telling herself, I couldn't muster up the courage to tell him the truth, and all this and that. But like, and then that was the end of episode 2. But like, what's interesting was the outro, the ending of the anime, like the outro. Yeah, the outro was interesting because it's key in that it's hinting at Kurosaki to be another candidate for the locket, because there are two keys that show in the outro, which means that it could be Kurosaki or it could be Kosaki, which is fucking mind blowing, but we don't know if that's true or not. Well, hopefully y'all enjoyed. Be sure to smash that like button. We might have did awful again today, but hopefully I start to get better at this. Hey, the more I do this, probably the better it's gonna get. Maybe not. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.